Does anyone outside the world of North America and American football care about the NFL draft? We'll find out. Danny, the NFL drafts its player like a bit like a kind of a slavery auction in the 19th century. Is it fair? Is it just? What business allows themselves to select personnel in such a restricted manner?
Well, in business, Matthew, when you apply for a job, you have an interview. In the National Football League, when you're going to get drafted by a team, you have a different kind of interview.
But wait a minute. Well, it's called, I think there was something called free enterprise. That's a word that I associate with the United States. Yet the National Football League has a way to allocate human resources the way no other industry come. How come?
Well, it's not just the Football League, Matthew. You have this in the Basketball Association. You have this in many different
World soccer.
Sports. That's right. But you have this in different sports. What I object to, and I think you object to also, is that they're put through these tests, a lot of them physical, how fast they run, how high they can jump. They also have psychological tests to see how well they do.
We want to find out about your Wonderlic. The Wonderlic, for those of you who think, what are these guys talking about, is something of an IQ test. If you want to go online, Wonderlic, LIC at the end, you can take the test yourself.
Have you taken it, Matthew?
I have taken the Wonderlic test.
Did you do well?
I did better than Peyton Manning.
Do you think you're going to get drafted?
I think it's my arm strength that's going to keep me from kind of getting a starting quarterback position. The thing about the NFL draft in the world of sports, the biggest moneymaker of any American sport is football. I think we both agree with that.
We agree.
Yet they pay these players on a restricted basis for 4 or 5 years at the beginning of their career. Most football players only last 3 or 4 years. So in a sense, there's no free enterprise when it comes to personnel in the NFL.
Well, I would put another take on this, Matthew. Supposing you want to hire someone from your company, how do you know that that person's going to be the right fit and be successful? And what's interesting in the NFL is they do all of the background, the personality, physical fitness, etc., and they still make mistakes. They sign people to $1 million contracts who turn out to be busts.
Terrible. I would say it's 1 and 2 on a successful basis.
And Johnny Manziel, you want to talk about?
Johnny Manziel is the kind of human train wreck who played for the Cleveland Browns last year, who was just indicted this week for beating up his girlfriend, but he's pretty much par for some of those courses.
But he was top draft choice.
Top draft choice is Cleveland Browns, which is maybe itself says something about Cleveland or the Cleveland Browns more than football. But how does the football league justify itself for having a draft at all? Why can't the players sign with whatever teams they want?
Well, because it's tried to have equality among the teams. So those teams that finish low down have the higher drafts. So the aim of all of this is to have parity between the teams. So the richest teams, like the New York Yankees in baseball, don't always get the best players. So whereas liberalism, according to you, would say, if I have the money, I can hire whoever I want, it would mean that the richest teams always had the best players.
Well, it means that a lot of professional sports, and here we're talking about the National Football League, are in effect guilds. They're not really free enterprise competitive environments. They're a stacked deck. If you're a franchise owner in the National Football League, your team's worth $2 billion, and they can be as bad as the Cleveland Browns or as great as the Patriots.
But they don't always win. If we look at the soccer now, as we get to the Champions League, if you look, it's always Bayern Munich. It's always Real Madrid. It's always the same teams because they have the most money. Is that fair?
But yes, that's completely fair. Then if you're a Bayern fan, you think, I love this league. The problem of these, they call them salary caps, and that's what kind of keeps the cost down in the leagues. But it also keeps the rich from losing, if we want to put it that way. That's all the time we have today on Money in Sports. I'm Matthew Stevenson.
I'm Danny Warner.